All right, happy Labor Day, guys. Welcome back to Bald Father Bets. We're going to recap how last night went for us. Take a look tonight at the Florida State-Boston College game, and then look forward a little bit into next week and what we got coming for College Football Week 2, as well as the NFL kicking off their season with Week 1. So looking back on last night, we had a good night, 5-0 in terms of units, 4 units on USC plus 4.5 on the overall game, and then on the second half line, we made that post and put another unit down on USC plus 2.5 in the second half, and both of those hit. So again, 5-0 on the evening last night, bringing our overall unit record to 16-10 for the year. So good results after the first week, looking to continue that on into the rest of the year. So before we look at tonight's line, a little bit of looking forward into the next week, and a few things that we're going to take a look at, and then one thing that we want to at least get down a unit for. The big college football game next week is going to be on Saturday. It is the Texas and Michigan game, and as I said, I will actually be attending that game, so we won't make a video necessarily in the morning. If I can, I will. If not, we'll have a post Saturday morning with the plays for at least the morning and afternoon games, and then possibly a video for the evening plays, kind of the opposite of what we did this past Saturday. But right now, you can still get Texas at -6 at some books, and we're going to lock that in for 1 unit for now. That line is moving absolutely further in the Texas direction. There's some books that are all the way up to Texas -7, Texas -7.5. I think when you get that 7 and a hook, you're going to see a lot of sharps come in on Michigan, and we may also end up making a Michigan play depending on how high that line gets. And when you play Michigan, you get about 60 snaps per game. It's very difficult to beat them by multiple scores because you have so little opportunities to do so. They hold the ball for long periods of time. With the new college football clock rules not stopping on first down, it shortens the game, and they are very good at controlling the game, controlling the clock. Coming into that game, I was actually all over Michigan until they started Davis Warren at quarterback this past week, which completely changed the read, completely changed the play. I think Alex Orji will play a lot more in the game than he did the first week. I think they held quite a bit back from their game plan, and I also think that they will have success running the ball. But I do not believe that when you just take a look at Quinn Ewers versus Warren, that I really want to trust Warren in that until we start getting into multiple score spread. If we get into a multiple score spread, again, that's where we're going to take a look at maybe coming in over the top on Michigan. But for now, just to get a number in, just to get a lay in, we're going to take Texas -6 just for 1 unit. And again, that may not be the final play. If the number comes down, we may take a little bit more on Texas, and if the number goes up, we may end up coming in over the top on Michigan. So stay tuned for that. I'll keep everyone updated. Also looking into next week, we'll have some plays on Boise State and Oregon. We'll have some plays on Nebraska, Colorado, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, and then of course in the NFL, we have a Thursday night game with the Ravens and the Chiefs kicking off in Kansas City, just as we did last year, except it's the Ravens instead of the Lions going up against the defending Super Bowl champs. And then Friday night, we have the game in Brazil. It's going to be Packers and Eagles. That should be a fun one. And then we go into that Saturday slate, and then obviously the first Sunday of the NFL, and then finishing off with Monday Night Football, excuse me, with the 49ers at home. So we will continue to monitor all of those lines and then give official picks throughout the week. But this will probably be the last video before we head into that Thursday night game next week. So for tonight, you have Florida State, you have Boston College. Florida State at home, coming off of that disappointing performance in Ireland against Georgia Tech. And they are going to be looking to rebound. That line has moved all the way from Florida State -21 down to Florida State -17. You can even get Florida State -15.5 at some sites. We are looking the opposite way, though. We are going to be looking at Boston College plus the 17. That transatlantic flight from Europe back to the United States is quite difficult. Most of the kids on Florida State, that'll be the first time that they've ever experienced it. I've done it several times. I've done it for work multiple times. And when you come back to the U.S., it takes a few days before you're right. Usually it's day 3, day 4, day 5 before your body is okay, which I think probably is going to impact Florida State a little bit more than they're expecting. Didn't seem to impact Georgia Tech too much this past week, but they were playing Georgia Southern. They weren't going up against a power conference opponent. Boston College, now with Bill O'Brien as their coach, they are going to want to run clock. They're going to run a lot of 21 personnel, possibly even 22 personnel. They're going to work the clock. They're going to try and shorten the game. They're going to try and take it out of DJU's hands. They're going to try and take the ball out of Florida State's hands, and they're going to make this a slow game, which, given the fact that we have plus 17, I like that number. Now, there is a world in which Florida State comes back. They're angry. They're trying to prove that the Georgia Tech game was a fluke, and they win this game by 4 or 5 scores, and it's never even close. And if that's the way you're leaning, the only thing that I tell you is just make sure you get that minus 15.5 rather than the minus 17, minus 16.5, or minus 16. If you are leaning Florida State, you could maybe even wait a little bit longer, as there does seem to be pretty strong sharp money coming in on Boston College. But we're going to take Boston College plus the 17 for 1 unit, and that's how we're going to close out the college football week 1. So we'll either end the week at 17-10 or 16-11, barring no second half play. But if there is a second half play, again, I'll make a post on YouTube. No video, just a post. So make sure you have the notifications on. Make sure you're subscribed. And again, if you are betting with us, if you're winning with us, the only thing that we ask is that you subscribe to the channel, like, interact, comment, tell us what you think, what you like, what you don't like, what your picks are, and we'll always interact back. But again, happy Labor Day, and everyone have a good start to the week.